Good morning, students. Welcome to lecture 5 of module 4. So today we'll see the Wien bridge oscillator, which is the other type of oscillator. Now in Wien bridge oscillator, it is a standard oscillator circuit for low to moderate frequency to produce the frequencies between the low to moderate range. So the range is somewhere 5 hertz to 1 megahertz. And in a Wien bridge circuit, you can see the amplifier and even the lead lag network, which is your feedback network. So we know clearly that in an oscillator we have an amplifier and a feedback network. So if you see here, the non-inverting terminal, right, the non-inverting terminal is through which I'm feeding back my output, right? So this particular output in the circuit is fed back to the non-inverting terminal, and my inverting terminal is grounded. So this is an non-inverting amplifier. So this will be your non-inverting amplifier, and in the feedback network you can see one resistor and one capacitor in series and one resistor and one capacitor in parallel, and this will form our feedback network, right? Now if you see the RF, the feedback resistor here is R3, and the input resistance is R4. Clear? Now in the non-inverting amplifier, we know that our gain is 1 plus RF by R in, right? So 1 plus R3 by Rn will be our non-inverting gain, which we'll see further when at the design, right? Now if you closely observe at the output, I have given a node name, that is A, and at the inverting terminal I've given a node name B, and at the non-inverting I've given a node name D, and for the ground connections I've given a node name C. Now we'll see how this particular circuit can be drawn into a Wien bridge oscillator. Now if you see here, if you observe carefully, now let us start from the inverting terminal, how this particular circuit is written in this order. So if you see from the inverting terminal, this particular point B, from this particular point B, what are the connections that are going? So from point B to the output node, that is node A, you can see R3 is connected between point B and A, and this A is the output side, right? So let us see in this particular circuit. So from the inverting terminal, I have taken a point node B, and from node B to point A, I have R3, and the point A is connected to the output side. You see this? The point A is connected to the output side. Now similarly, again from point B, there is another connection that is going, that is the R4 resistance to point C, which is connected to ground, right? So from point B, R4 is the resistance to point C. Clear? That is connected to ground. So we are done with this particular connections, that is from the inverting terminal. Now we'll see from the non-inverting terminal. So from the non-inverting terminal, I have connected it to node D. So from non-inverting terminal to node D, clear? And from D, let us see, from D I have one resistance and capacitance in parallel that will go to the connection ground, right? So from node D, a resistance R2 and capacitance C2 are in parallel to each other and then connected to ground point, that is node C. And from the non-inverting terminal node, that is D itself, we have a resistance and series that is getting connected to point A, which is connected to the output. Clear? So you can see point D is again connected with R1 resistance and C1 capacitance in series to point A, and point A is connected to the output side. Clear? So with this particular thing, we can see how this circuit can be drawn into a Wien bridge oscillator. Clear? Now, the thing, if you see here, this particular resistance and capacitance in series will operate as a lead network, and the resistance and capacitance in parallel will act as a lag network. Clear? Now, when we are speaking about this, now here we have the particular network in this order where we are going to give the input, and we have a lead network and a lag network, and we will be observing the output. Clear? So when we are trying to understand this particular circuit, we will speak in terms of the reactance of the capacitor, so which is given by 1 by 2 pi fc. So if we consider, if we consider low frequency, if we consider low frequencies, we know that if frequency value is low, this reactance value will be very high, right? So at low frequencies, the reactance of the capacitor looks like a open circuit to the input signals, therefore there will be no output. That means when the reactance is too high, the capacitor will look, here at low frequencies, your reactance value will be too high and your capacitor will look like a open circuit. When it is operating like an open circuit, whatever input is fed, it is not coming towards the output. So the output voltage will be zero, since here you have the open circuits. Similarly, at high frequencies, what happens? The capacitor will operate as a short. Clear? And there will be no output even in that particular condition. So here what happens here is, you can see the capacitor will operate as a short circuit, right? So whatever input voltage is applied, it will flow to the ground. It will flow to the ground, and the output voltage will be equivalent to zero again. So here at low frequencies, reactance value will be too high. It will operate as an open circuit. Capacitor operates as an open circuit. And at high frequencies, when frequency is too high, the reactance value will go completely low, and the capacitor will operate as a short circuit. Clear? So therefore, either at low frequencies or at high frequencies, you can see the output voltage is going to be zero. Now let us see the same thing in the graph here. So we have plotted the gain versus the frequency. So in gain versus frequency, if you see here, at low frequencies also the gain value is zero, and at high frequencies also the gain value is zero. Only at a resonant frequency, in somewhere between the high frequency and the low frequency range, you can see at one particular frequency my beta value is 1 by 3, and my gain is at the maximum value at one particular resonant frequency. And because of the lead network, I will have a phase shift of plus 90 degree, and because of the lag network, I will have a phase shift of minus 90 degree. At one particular frequency, that is at a resonant frequency, this particular oscillator will this particular feedback network, that is the lead lag network, will give a 0 degree phase shift. It will give a 0 degree phase shift. I'll just repeat. So we have plotted gain versus the frequency. At low frequencies, my output voltage is 0, and even at the high frequencies, the output voltage is 0. Only at a resonant frequency, you can see the gain has become maximum. At this particular point, the feedback factor will be equivalent to 1 by 3, and the gain will be maximum. Clear? And because of a lead network, I will be getting a phase shift of plus 90 degree, and because of a lag network, we will be getting a phase shift of minus 90 degree. At the resonance frequency, we can see that this lead lag network will give a total phase shift of 0 degree. Clear? And we know that to satisfy the Parkinson criteria, the second law says that the total phase shift of the loop should be either 0 degrees or 360 degree, right? So let us see this particular points. So between this extremes, the output voltage reaches the maximum value, The frequency at which the output is maximized is called resonant frequency. At this frequency, the feedback fraction reaches the maximum value, that is 1 by 3. At low frequencies, the phase angle is positive and the circuit acts as a lead network. And at high frequencies, the phase angle is negative, the circuit acts as a lag network. So in between, there is a resonant frequency Fr at which the phase angle is equal to 0. Clear? So when we come to the working part, we can see here the Wien bridge oscillator consists of a non-inverting amplifier and a lead lag network as the feedback circuit. And we know that since we are using a non-inverting amplifier, it does not produce any phase shift. So there will be 0° phase shift. And the lead network, that is R1 and C1, produces plus 90, and lag network R2 and C2, which are in parallel, will produce minus 90°. Two resistors R3 and R4 will not produce any phase shift. So therefore, the total phase shift will be 0° by the feedback circuit, that is plus 90 and minus 90, that will be 0°. Since the lead network, lead circuit, lag circuit, and both the resistors which are connected to the bridge of the Wien bridge oscillator is not producing any phase shift, and let us assume for the Wien bridge network that R1 will be equal to R2 will be equal to R, and C1 and C2 will be equal to C, and beta value is equal to 1 by 3. Now in this particular condition, when we see the design part, initially to generate the oscillations, we are going to keep A beta product greater than 1. So since I'm taking modulus, so if I substitute the value of beta as 1 by 3, and if I shift this 3 here, my gain should be greater than 3. And to calculate the frequency of oscillations, it is given by the formula F naught equal to 1 by 2 pi root R1 into R2 into C1 into C2. And we already saw we are taking the values of the resistance as R and capacitance as C. So we'll get R square and C square. So square root of that, we will be getting only 1 by 2 pi RC. Clear? That is your F naught. And we know that the gain of the non-inverting amplifier is given by 1 plus RF by R1. So if my gain has to be greater than 3 initially, so the equation is 1 plus R3 by R4, where R3 is the RF value and R1 is equal, Ri is equal to R4. So if you substitute it here and if you rearrange the equation, we'll get R3 by R4 should be greater than 2. Clear? So it clearly indicates that R3 should be greater than 2 times of R4 for the oscillations to start. And later, once the oscillations are started, we will shift it for sustained oscillations of constant amplitude and constant frequency. I will keep the condition as A beta equal to 1, which will be equivalent to gain should be equal to 3. Therefore, when we substitute this 1 plus R3 by R4 equal to 3, R3 by R4 should be equal to 2, and R3 should be equal to 2 times of R4 for sustained oscillations. So this completes Wien bridge oscillator and all the topics in oscillators. So a quick uh, point or points to remember, we know that the feedback network is giving 0° phase shift and the non-inverting amplifier is giving 0° phase shift. So 0 plus 0, the total phase shift will be 0°. So it is satisfying the Barkanson criteria also. Clear? So this completes the oscillator topics. Thank you. We will further see the further topics in the module in the next lecture.